Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today is going to be just a quick first impressions on a little Civivi that I recently picked up. This is a larger version of an even smaller knife, but it's still a really small knife that came out a couple of years ago. This is the KIV Plus rather than just the KIV. So I was interested in this knife because I kind of find this design a little bit intriguing. All right. It's a very small knife, but I thought, small knives, I'm not a fan of small knives, and this is not going to be a primary carry for me. This would be a secondary carry for me. Let me put it down there for you. But it is a knife that I was pretty interested in checking out. So let me give you a quick rundown on the, size, weight, features, all that kind of good stuff. Check out this Wharncliffe blade. Very little bit of laminated carbon fiber, sort of as an accent. Deep carry clip with flush screws, G10, liner lock, and this kind of interesting deployment mechanism. It kind of looks like a front flipper, and I can do it. I can make it work as a front flipper, as you can see. By the way, I have to say, I know, guys. I wish this were bigger. I would like to see this knife with a full 3.5 inch blade, because I think it's pretty compelling. As you can see, it works well with the sort of thumb over design. Now, I did notice a couple of people complaining that this was a little difficult to flip, and that's because they were applying force in the wrong direction. If you take your finger and you apply force this way, you're going to get that result. Okay. If you apply the force down, I guess maybe this way, then it deploys quite nicely. So when I put my thumb on here, I'm actually pushing down on it and then just moving my thumb a little bit to the side. And the center of gravity is so close to the pivot here that just a slight move to the side, like you open it this much, and your downward force is immediately going to be redirected and deploy the blade with quite a bit of snap there. Now, I do want to quickly give you some of the features. I mean, some of the materials and the size and weight before we completely leave you with very limited description. So let's get into that now. Okay, so what we have here is Nitro V up front. Now this one happens to be black coated. These are available in satin. I think this was the only one. Anyway, I said to Justin, I mentioned a couple of models that I wouldn't mind checking out, and this is the one he sent. So presumably he had more of these, and maybe not as many of the others. But I ended up with the black one, which is fine by me for a knife like this, which this is not going to get a ton of use and carry from me because it's just too small for me. But I do like the design. By the way, the design is Oh Stop Hell. The blade is Nitro V. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier or not. Nice Wharncliffe blade, G10 with a little bit of carbon fiber laminate there, stainless steel liner. Size on this guy, it is pretty little. 6 1/8 inches, 2.5 inches of blade, 3 11/16 closed. All right, only 3 inches of grip area, and it weighs in at 2.1 ounces. Now, I did want to show you one cool thing about this. You can get all 4 fingers on it, which is great for a small knife like this. And they've run the jimping all the way out the spine. So I've got a spot for my thumb here on the jimping or a spot for my index finger if you're doing this kind of cutting task. Okay, so even though this is a little small, I did a couple of things with it just because I force myself to do that. I get these small knives every so often just to check them out and to share with you guys. And you guys normally know I'm not a huge fan of smaller knives, but this one is not too bad, specifically because it allows for, a little bit of variation in grip. Now, again, I'm not going to carry this as my primary folder, but it is a nice knife to throw in your pocket if you're carrying something big and obnoxious, which I often am. And so that's a good role for it to fill in my collection. Yeah, again, it may not stay in my collection forever because I tend to not like carrying two knives that often. And so if I'm going to carry one, it's going to be something a little larger. Anyway, those are my first impressions. Head on over to White Mountain Knives, check out what Justin's got in stock. Use my discount code Sharp Stuff. That will save you a little bit on this, and it'll also help out the channel. Thank you for watching. We will talk to you soon.